morning class. So today we are going to start lecture number 2 of chapter 5, States of Matter. There is a quote for you people, and I hope I got it very relevant. So that's why I have mentioned over here. Work hard to get what you like. Otherwise, you will be forced to like what you get. I hope you got it. So no need to explain the things. This quote itself is like enough to get the things, to give the things whatever it wants to deliver. Yes. So let's move to next slide. Today we are going to learn about the thermal energy. What is this thermal energy? Therm means heat. So the energy for the heating, or the for like we can say the heat related. Yes. So thermal energy is the energy of a body arising from motion of its atom or molecule. It is directly proportional to the temperature of the substance, and it is a measure of average kinetic energy of the particles of the matter and is thus responsible for movement of particles. I hope it is clear. It is directly proportional to temperature. If more the temperature, whatever the temperature you will provide, it will increase accordingly. Got it? And this is the energy produced because of the motion. Whenever the particles move, they collide and they produce heat, and that type of energy is called thermal energy. Got it? This movement of particle is called thermal motion. And if we check that thermal energy and the molecular interaction, so you just check gas has the least molecular interaction and it increases up to solid. Whenever it comes to solid, it has the higher intermolecular interaction. While if we talk about the thermal energy, the solid has the least thermal energy, or you can say that the thermal stability will be high for the solid, because thermal energy is inversely proportional to thermal stability. Yes. So if least thermal energy for the solid, so obviously thermal stability will be high for solid, and vice versa for this gas. Yes. So this is the second topic we are going to start, the gaseous state. The first topic we have done in the previous video, and that was about the force of attraction. So this is today we are going to start with the gaseous state. Already I have explained that there are the three states of matter. One is solid, liquid and gas. So out of that, gaseous state we will cover in class 11th, and solid and liquid we will cover in class 12th. Okay. So the gaseous state, if we talk about, this is the gaseous state, is the simple matter state of matter, and the following 11 elements are gases under the normal condition. These are the 11 gases and 11 elements which exist as a gas under the normal condition. All the inert gas, so obviously all it will be. Other than this, for 17th group, fluorine and chlorine. For 16th group and 15th group, first group, it is hydrogen. Got it? So now move to next slide. General characteristics of gases. What are the characteristics of gases? The properties of gases we have to do. The first is shape and volume. That means we know that since in grade class 6 and 7 we are knowing this thing, that gases neither have definite shape nor have definite volume, isn't it? Compressibility. Gases can be easily compressed by application of external pressure, and that's why the water can be vaporized. You can say that the gaseous vapor can be condensed into liquid, and that liquid can be compressed into the solid. So highly compressible they are. Homogeneous nature. They are having similar composition throughout that mixture in all parts, and therefore they are homogeneous in nature. Yes. Density. Gases have very low density, and that's why they are like they are not what we say, they are not settled on the earth surface. They are on the above surface. Okay. Or they have high density than they have low density than the solid and liquid. Pressure. If you say gases exert pressure equally in all direction, while solid and liquid in a particular direction they exert the pressure. Liquefaction. Gases can be liquefied by cooling or applying pressure. अगर हम cool करते हैं, temperature if we get it down, so gases can be liquefied, and if it can be done by applying pressure also. Diffusion. Diffusion, we know that intermixing and by its own. Yes. So gases intermix radially and completely in all proportion without any mechanical aid. We don't have to provide any mechanical aid or any other substance to mix it. They mix by their own. So now this is the important part of this chapter, gases law we are going to do, and all these laws we will do, Charles law, Boyle's law, Gay-Lussac law, Avogadro's hypothesis, all this law we will do. So few laws are of like already we have done in class 11th, first chapter, so some basic concepts of chemistry. So that in some books you can get the question in the first chapter only, you can get the question of this fifth chapter questions you can get. So it is because they are interrelated. Okay, so let me start with this gases law. First we will do of the three state of matter, the gaseous state is the simplest and shows greatest uniformity in behavior. Okay, the behavior of gases can be described by certain quantitative relationship between mass, pressure, volume and temperature. And these relation, the relation between the mass, pressure, volume and temperature, these relationships are called gases law. These gas laws give quantitative relationship between any two variable when the other two are kept constant. जब हम बाकी को constant रखेंगे तो it will give you the relationship between the two variables. Let us discuss the various gas laws in detail. And the first law we are going to start with the Boyle's law, that is pressure volume relationship. That means Boyle's law explains the relation between pressure and volume. It states that at constant temperature, the volume of a fixed amount of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure. The temperature should be constant, yes? And then the volume of fixed amount of a gas will be inversely proportional to pressure. So mathematically we can express it like this: V is inversely proportional to 1 by P, where number of moles and temperature will be constant. So can I say, like, whenever we remove the proportionality sign, we put a constant. So here I have put the constant K1. So can in next way can I write this PV is equal to constant or PV is equal to K1? Yes. So where V is the volume, P is the pressure of the gas, and K1 is the constant of proportionality whose values depend upon the amount of gas and the temperature. How? We will do it later on. Okay. So next is, suppose that we can get a relationship like this. So a formula we can get. So let V1 be the volume of given mass of a gas at pressure P1 and at a given temperature T. Temperature we are going to keep constant. So when the pressure is changed to P2 at the same temperature, let the volume changes to V2. Clear? That means if we are keeping the temperature constant and at P1 pressure the volume is V1, so P2 pressure volume will be V2. So according to Boyle's law, P1 V1 will be constant. Similarly, P2 V2 will be constant. So can I say P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 constant? Yes, but the condition should be at constant temperature. Okay. Or we can say that P1 upon P2 is equal to V1 upon V2. Clear? I hope it is clear. Hence, Boyle's law may also be stated as the product of pressure and the volume of given mass of a gas at constant temperature. Yes? Let's move to next slide. This is the graphical representation of Boyle's law when we are plotting a graph between pressure and the volume. Then we will get a graph like curve, like, because it is inversely, so we will not get the straight line. It will be a curve. And we can see that here the pressure is high but volume is less. In this case the pressure is pressure is less, P1 se comparatively less, but V2 is more because of this, you can see. Yes, so this is the graph between P and V at constant temperature. So sometime graph will be asked, and they can ask that which laws it is governing. So you have to say, you should know that whenever we plot a graph between pressure and volume, how it gives. Whenever the graph we plot between pressure and 1 by V, how it gives. PV and V, something like that. So I have done all that graph. So let's see. This is if we are plotting that at constant temperature we are plotting, okay, but I am going to plot this graph at the three different temperature. So T1 temperature, T2 temperature and T3 temperature. So it says that higher the temperature, higher will be the we can say P1 V1. Yes, so this one will be, it is giving P1 V1 over here, P2 V2 over here at this constant temperature. T3, different P1 V1 will be there. Yes, at this T2 temperature different will be there. Product of pressure and volume will be different. At this temperature it will be different. So higher the temperature, higher will be the PV. Got it? So it is the plot between pressure and volume at three different constant temperature, where the T3 is greater than T2, then T1. Yes. The next is we are plotting a graph between pressure and 1 by V. So if we talk about the pressure and 1 by V, that means it will be directly proportional. And whenever we plot a directly proportional graph, it will always give a inclined line. Yes, slanting line. So this will be slanting line over there. And I have drawn for the three temperature T3, T2, T1. Here again, T3 will be high. So in that case, P1 into 1 by V1, like this different. जितने ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर होगा उतने ज़्यादा P1 upon V1 होगा. Got it? Yes. Next, this is the graph between PV and PV and pressure. So it will give you like a straight line. Yes, that means pressure will be increased, but PV will not. Whatever that for a constant PV, that pressure increases. Got it? And if you take the two temperature, it will give you that T2 is greater than T1. So that means PV and P ka relation jo hoga, that will be higher for the T2 temperature, and for T1 it is low. Okay, this is also known as isotherm. Okay, chaliye next, physical significance of Boyle's law. The Boyle's law expresses in a quantitative manner and the important experimental observation that our gases are highly compressible. ये Boyle's law का एक significance है, that it says that gases are highly compressible. And that's why we can see that in the oxygen cylinder, you can see that the oxygen gas is compressed in that, even in the LPG or the PNG or whatever that gas station you can see. It is in compressed way, it is kept over there. Yes. When a given mass of gas is compressed by increasing the pressure, the same number of molecules occupy a smaller space. As a result, the gas becomes denser, and because mass per unit volume increases. Got it? Because same number of molecules are there, but that they are compressed. So in a what we say, the volume will be decrease, but the volume will be, if it is compressing, the volume will be decreased. Yes, so volume will be decreased, but what will happen? The gases becomes denser. Yes, because volume is inversely proportional to density. So if we say that if the volume increases, the density decreases. Got it? So in that way we can say. Now, for example, air at sea level is dense. Niche, whenever we are in the sea level, at the sea level, it is dense, but the density as well as the pressure decreases with increase in altitude. High altitude पे ये decrease हो जाता है, and that's why we say that we are not getting enough oxygen and all that. For example, the atmospheric pressure at Mount Everest is only about 0.5 atm. Not to learn, it's just a factor, so that I have used here. As a result, the oxygen in air becomes insufficient in normal breathing, and that's why it is called altitude sickness. Or might be you all have experienced this. Whenever we go at high altitude, we feel nausea and vomiting, something like that. So this is due to, because of oxygen, the pressure is there low, so that's why we don't get the oxygen in proper amount, whatever we need. So that is called altitude sickness. Okay, so let's do some numerical based on this Boyle's law. The first question is here: a gas occupies 200 ml at a pressure of 0.820 bar at 20 degrees Celsius, and how much volume will it occupy when it is subjected to external pressure of 1.025 bar at same temperature? So what we will write? We will write the P1. Here it is P1. 1 second. Here it is P1. Yes. And this one is P2. V1 is given. You are supposed to find the V2. So because temperature is constant, so it applies Boyle's law. Just put the value and get the answer. P1 is 0.820. P2 is equal to 1.025. And V1 is equal to 200 ml. And V2 is equal to question mark that you have to find. Okay. So use this formula. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. And V2 is equal to like this, P1 V1 upon P2. So you put the value and it will be like, calculate it, you will get the 160 ml. Hope it is clear. Yes. Yes. Now the next question is here. A vessel of 120 ml capacity contain a certain amount of gas at 35 degrees Celsius. and 1.2 bar pressure. The gas is transferred to another vessel of volume 120 ml at 35 degrees Celsius. What would be its pressure? Okay. Since temperature and amount of gas remains constant, therefore it's quite clear that Boyle's law will be applicable because constant temperature is there, isn't it? So again, the P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 you have to apply. V1 is given 120 and V2 is given 180 ml. P1 is given 1.2 bar and P2 you have to find. Don't be confused with the temperature because see here also 35 degrees Celsius, here also 35 degrees Celsius. That means temperature is going to be constant. So let's find this. Yes, use the formula. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Put the value and find the P2. I hope it is clear. Yes. Let's move to next question. A gas occupies a volume of 250 ml at 740 mmHg and 25 degrees Celsius. What additional pressure is required to reduce the gas volume to 200 ml at the same temperature? Again, it is like same temperature it is said. So obviously P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So now the pressure is given here in the mm of Hg. You can see the pressure is given in mm of Hg. Okay. So no need if it is asked to find the pressure in bar or atm, then you are supposed to change this 745 mm of Hg into bar or atm. But if nothing is written, so we will find the pressure in the mm of Hg only. So here it is V1, here it is V2, and here it is P1. Find the P2. Yes, like this. So it is said that what additional pressure is required. It's not only P2. Got it? It's not simply P2. Where is that? 1 second. It's not only P2. What additional? So that means जो पहले pressure हो रहा था उसमें से हम what we will do? जो whatever the P2 is coming और जो पहले pressure लग रहा था तो उसको minus करेंगे, we will get like whatever the earlier pressure was. If we will add some extra pressure over there, then only the P2 will come. So we found the P2, isn't it? We found the P2 and then subtracted it from the initial one. So that's it will give you 931.25 that we got the P2 and subtracted the initial one 745. So we'll get this. This is the additional pressure we have to apply to reduce the volume of the that gas from 250 ml to 200 ml. Got it? Let's move to next question. A balloon is filled with a hydrogen at room temperature. It will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar. That means it is given P2. Yes, it is given P2. If at 1 bar pressure, the gas occupies 2.27 liter volume, up to what volume can the balloon be expanded? And V2 is asked. Yes, so you can find. According to Boyle's law, constant temperature P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Yes. So use the formula and V2 we will get this 11.35. That means the volume up to what volume? This volume will be that till this volume the balloon can be expanded. Yes. Since balloon burst at 0.2 bar pressure, so volume of the balloon should be less than, not more than that, up to this 11.35. Or to avoid this bursting, it should be less than 11.35. Got it? So this you are supposed to line. Yeah, right. This line. The volume of the balloons should be less than 11.35 liter. So that is the initial thing. That is a mandatory thing. So that's it for today class. Hope you got all the things, whatever I have explained for the Boyle's law. Next class, we will do the Charles law and Gay-Lussac law and the other laws also, Avogadro hypothesis and all that. So till then, thank you class. Watch the video properly and try to solve the numericals by your own. Thank you class.